The U.S. presidential election is right around the corner, and there has been final pushes to encourage people to get out and vote. In selecting who you will vote for to become our next president, it's important to know where that candidate stands on issues that are important to you and what their plans are regarding those topics. Many issues of concern have been in the spotlight, such as immigration, abortion, inflation, the economy, and taxes. And both Kamala and Trump have outlined their plans for all of these. From my research and my personal opinion, our economy has been the most important issue among Americans, and it has definitely been high on my list. So while doing my research, I learned what Kamala Harris's economic plan is. She unveiled her economic plan at a rally a couple months ago. Y'all gotta excuse me to win. She has called for an opportunity economy with a focus on the middle class. Her economic plan addresses 4 areas: housing, healthcare, taxes, and food and groceries. I became curious about her housing plan, especially since my career is in real estate and my business can be affected by any plan she has. I decided to make this video describing her plan, my thoughts on it, and what others have had to say about it, and to get your opinion on whether she has a good housing plan that could solve our problems. First, let me tell you what the problems are with housing so you can see why this is one of the current cornerstones of her economic plan. To state it plainly, there's a housing affordability crisis in America. Millions of Americans can't afford to buy a home or rent a suitable apartment. A main reason for not being able to afford suitable housing is there is a housing shortage. We're talking about supply and demand here. When there is a low supply of something and demand for that something is high, a consequence of that high demand is an increase in the price of that something. Ever since the foreclosure crisis, which was a period of time roughly between 2007 and 2010, when many properties were being foreclosed, there have been far fewer new single-family homes and multi-family rental buildings under construction. According to an article from the Associated Press, the AP, the shortfall, which some economists say ranges from 1 million to around 4 million homes, has for the better part of the last decade fueled bidding wars that boosted the median sales price of previously occupied U.S. homes to an all-time high of $426,000 in June 2024. In May, national home prices were up 48% from 4 years earlier. While the increase in value is great for existing homeowners, in regards to equity building, it is difficult for others to become homeowners. This is concerning because it is well known that home ownership is a major way to wealth creation. Renters aren't catching the break either because, according to the same AP article, asking rent remains roughly 20% higher than it was before the pandemic. So to combat this issue, Kamala Harris outlined 4 key components to her housing plan. I wanted to describe them to you and get your thoughts. Do you think this is a great plan, and will it solve our housing problems? So to help ease demand, which could therefore lead to increased affordability for both renters and buyers, Kamala Harris's housing plan calls for increasing the supply of housing through the construction of 3 million new housing units over the next 4 years. The housing units will be for rent and for sale. To get to the 3 million new units, Kamala Harris states she will introduce a first ever tax incentive for home builders who sell starter homes to first-time home buyers. The list of Harris's proposals also include a $40 billion innovation fund. The money will be available to local governments to fund home building projects at the local level. And finally, Harris proposes to provide up to $25,000 down payment assistance to first-time home buyers who have paid rent on time for 2 years, with more generous support for qualifying first-generation homeowners. From my research, the critics seem to agree that construction of 3 million homes over the next 4 years is an achievable goal and would definitely help with the housing shortage. The criticism comes from the tax incentive for the home builders. Home builders say it can be difficult to define what a starter home is, and its price point can differ drastically depending on what part of the country you're talking about. A starter home in parts of California can be upwards of $700,000, while a starter home in southern parts of the U.S. can be around $250,000. Home builders also say that it's hard to build to that first-time home buyer or starter home price point because of labor costs, land costs, borrowing costs for a builder, and then material costs. In regards to the $40 billion innovation fund, critics say that the high price tag may make it difficult for that plan to receive congressional approval. And for the down payment assistance proposal, critics state that that would increase demand and therefore lead to increased home prices, therefore not solving the problem. In my opinion, building 3 million homes over the next 4 years will solve the housing crisis because our problems stem from having low supply. Constructing new homes will increase the supply of homes, which will lead to housing affordability. The issues the home builders have are valid issues, but I'm sure if we knew the details of that proposal and how the tax incentives will be given, there will be some considerations given in regards to the differences in price points across the nation. And I believe there will be consideration regarding the expenses the home builder will have to build a home at the starter home level. It would be great if the government offers some sort of interest rate cut or some other perks for loans that home builders need. We have yet to know the details. I do agree that approval for the $40 billion innovation fund may be hard to get. And as for the up to $25,000 down payment assistance plan, I think it's a wonderful idea. There are already thousands of down payment assistance programs being offered throughout the U.S. right now, and they have never been blamed for the high demand in housing before. Many people have benefited from these programs, breaking the barrier into home ownership. Many of my clients have benefited from having down payment assistance, and in my opinion, whatever plans that are geared to making it possible for someone to purchase a home and have an opportunity to enjoy all of the perks of home ownership, including wealth building, that are out there, I'm all for the plan, no matter what that plan looks like. So what are your thoughts on Harris's proposals? Let me know in the comments. Do you think 3 million new units, tax incentives, and down payment assistance will solve the housing problems?